Hello everyone, Marie Burns here from Mind, Money, Motion. And today I'd like to talk with you a little bit about what I call the morbid details. Have you ever walked through an estate sale? And as you're walking through this home of a previous owner, what thoughts are in your head? What are you feeling? I know I have found myself having difficulty not feeling like an intruder or feeling guilty or disrespectful, especially in some of the rooms of the home that you don't normally see, even when you're visiting a friend or family member's house, like the bedroom, for example. Yet an estate sale is often a very helpful and necessary way to find a new home for much of the contents. That dealing with the stuff is often the most painful part of the process after someone has passed away. Right? There's memories and gifts and family heirloom facts associated with our stuff that can really make that time especially difficult. I have no idea where she would want this to go, or I'm just not sure what she would have wanted to do with this item. I can't be sure what she would have wanted. Those are all common thoughts that go through family members' minds. So anything you can do in advance to identify what you care specifically about will truly be a gift to your family. They'll be relieved to know that this is what you wanted. I know it may feel morbid to think about all of this, but you are saving them unnecessary stress. For your stuff, you can make a list. They technically call it a personal property disposition list. It's to identify what you want to go to who. No attorney needed. You can keep it with your other estate planning documents and replace it any time that you want to update it. Be sure that you're descriptive enough to identify the item clearly. Name the person. Don't just say my daughter or granddaughter. Write out the name and then sign and date the list. Have you also put in writing or at least spoken with your healthcare agent about your wishes for things like organ donation, burial versus cremation, and service preferences? You know, the potential for having to transport a body these days if someone passes away out of state from their home has definitely been a part of family decisions to choose cremation now, as more families travel than maybe in the past. And then disbursement of ashes would be the next decision in that case. I know people who have planned their entire funeral, from the obituary to music to pallbearers to the menu. There's actually a site, funerals.org, that has lists of things to think about. I love their motto at the top of their site: losing a loved one is hard, planning a funeral shouldn't be. Myself, I don't think I want that much control. I'm feeling like I'll be fine with whatever my family deems appropriate at that time, but we do have a final disposition form completed to clarify a few preferences that we do have. If you don't have things in writing, it can become a he said, she said situation, and that often leads to nothing but hard feelings. You know, besides my book, which is called the Before Financial Checklist, 15 Important Actions to Complete Before the Loss of a Loved One, there are many others out there, and they range from serious to not so serious, but they're all very helpful. There's one called Dying to Know. Another one is the What If Workbook. I know ARP has a couple of them: Checklist for My Family or Checklist for My Family Survivors. And another one, some of these have cartoons trying to lighten up the subject a little bit, is called Now What? And that's just to name a few. But what I found is that most of us who have written a book on this subject have done so because we know how much of the stress that families go through can be significantly minimized. You may have heard me say this before, but it is so true. Getting financially organized and documenting your wishes is the best last gift you can give your family. And taking care of all that during the calm time of your life now, before the storm later when the end is near, that will allow you to think clearly and act rationally to put your financial house in order now. Just envision strangers traipsing through your home for an estate sale. Would you be upset if certain items didn't go to a worthy cause or a specific family member or friend? If not, you're right, no action needed on your part. But if so, be sure to put your preferences in writing about all those seemingly morbid details.